Look, please open the Gemara in Pesachim. We have Tzadik Tet Amud Bet. Good morning. Please open Pesachim Tzadik Tet Amud Bet. Pesachim 99b, the Mishnah. Tzadik Tet Amud Bet. Let's see the Mishnah, then the Tosfot.
99b?
Yes.
Okay.
The Mishnah says, Erev Pesachim Samuch lemincha, next Monday afternoon, Lo yochal adam ad shetachshach, a person should not eat a big meal. We are going to focus on the following sentence. Afilu ani shebeYisrael, Lo yochal ad sheyasev. Even a poor man that all year round is not eating linen because he either doesn't have enough food or he doesn't have the right furniture, or so to say, to live. Afilu ani shebeYisrael, has to eat ba'aseba. Now here we're going to focus on the last sentence in the Mishnah. ולא יפחתו לו מארבע כוסות של יין, ואפילו מן התמכות. Those who are in charge of distributing matzot or wine to the poor and the needy should not give the ani less than 4 cups. We all know 4 cups. Why is it only to him about his family? He should say, ולא יפחתו להם. If you give the Balabait, you should give based on his family. Okay, so no, I mean, to be honest, normally you can say, okay, this is it. Yeah. Look at Tosafot. Look at Tosafot on the bottom.
Shh.
לא יפחתו לו.
No, don't close, it's hot.
לא יפחתו לו מארבע כוסות. Tosafot are saying, מתוך הלשון of the Mishnah, משמע כיצד, שאין נותנים לבניו ולבני ביתו. They're not giving his wife and his children. כי אם לעצמו. Otherwise, the Mishnah should have said, ולא יפחתו להם. The family should not get less than 4 כוסות. והוא מוציא את כולם בשלו. The same as Friday night. We make Kiddush, we are motzi everyone. The Tosafot are saying the Mishnah seems to say that Pesach night is the same. Svara means it makes sense logically. Remember, we're not doing it, but Tosafot are learning the Mishnah, and by understanding Tosafot, we would understand the essence of our Kosot the way we do it. With Svara, מה ישנה 4 כוסות מקידוש לכל השנה? What is the difference between 4 cups of the night of Pesach and Kiddush Friday night? שאחד מוציא את כולם. You know, amazing Tosfot. Tosfot are saying, why should the night of Pesach, I'm asking you now, what is the difference really? Okay, then we need 4, I understand that. The question is in the sense of should the Mekadesh drink or everyone should have his own cup and drink it. So what they're saying, why should there be a difference?
So could one say that maybe drinking the cups where we live in the experience, so to speak, we have to be in the action of experiencing Pesach as opposed to...
No. What you're saying is right, but the question is in the...
Yeah, what's the essence?
Yeah, you always have to have a halachic frame for it. So what did Chachamim say? What? That each one, Friday night is also the idea Shabbat is coming. You are sanctifying the Shabbat.
Each course has one different type of freedom.
You are showing. What you are saying is you're explaining why we drink 4 and not 1. We understand. The question is in the food that we drink. Why should everyone drink to support the raising?
You would say like Friday night, right?
So everyone, see, normally if I'm asking you now to define the difference between Arbakosot and Kiddush Friday night, the definition goes as follows. Friday night is a mitzvah to sanctify Shabbat. There's no mitzvah to drink.
Oh.
Your wife and your kids don't have to drink. No one has to drink, but the one who makes Kiddush because he made Kiddush. But this is what Rani was trying. What?
Over here in Pesach, it seems like you're feeling you might think that you don't feel your obligation.
No, but the question is why. So we're only asking David to define it. But the night of Pesach, everyone has to show that he's a free man. Free men when they celebrate. You go out for a family dinner, anniversary, this, that, everyone. What is the idea? The idea is we are collectively.
So the drinking technically
So the
is
difference
symbolic.
drinking is part of the chirut. Yes? So how can Tosafot even mention it? How can Tosafot and Tosafot are not sure till the end? Is it enough Pesach night for Baal Habayit to do it? As we do it every Friday night or not? Okay, so we know that we all do it. What is the difference between Friday night and
But
Pesach?
Rabbi, aren't we collectively, even though if we're sitting at the table and the Balabai makes Kiddush for us, and there's 50 people at the table, we still, to be part of it, we have to have bread. We got to eat bread to be part of that Kiddush, or mezonot or something.
Are you talking about Friday night or Pesach night?
No, I'm saying in Pesach, you're telling me it's incumbent, we all have to drink the wine. But Friday night, you said, no, if he drinks the wine alone, no one else has to drink it. But you still have to do something to be part of that Shabbat.
The question was, how can Tosafot compare Friday night to Pesach night as far as the Arba? Friday night, the idea is to show that Shabbat is special, to recite Kiddush and wine. Your wife, your children don't have to taste the wine. You or one person has to drink it.
Yeah.
Here, the idea was that every family member on the night of Pesach has to drink, even kids, to show their
So there's a difference between the Chefs and the Gavra, seems between Friday night and Pesach.
There's no common denominator, really, if you think, yes? This is a totally different takana. The first cup, Pesach night, is Kiddush, but there is another aspect to the Kiddush. Unlike a regular Friday night, the Kiddush is we collectively are obligated verbally to sanctify Shabbat and to show that this is important, we're doing it on a cup of wine, but no one has to drink from it. Here, it's Yom Tov. We have to show Derech Cherut, we have to show Simchat Yom Tov.
Rabbi Prague, in this, and when you start off this Mishnah, if it says lo yochal, the regular person, ad shetech shach, right? So why doesn't it say afilu ani sheb'Yisrael lo yochal ad shetech shach? Why does it say sheyesev? The difference between tech shach and yesev.
Okay, let me explain to you what he's saying. Look at the Mishnah again.
Yeah.
The Mishnah can be read in two ways, and of course I read it in one way. Of Tosafot are bringing the other way. You can read like you. I read it like this. ערב פסחים, סמוך למנחה, לא יאכל אדם עד שתחשך כמה. So I read it as a phrase. Then, אפילו אני שבישראל לא יאכל עד שיעשה. This is the way I read it. He's suggesting you can read it like this. ערב פסחים, סמוך למנחה, לא יאכל אדם עד שתחשך, אפילו אני שבישראל כמה. אפילו אני שבישראל goes even at the poor man. Why would you read it like this? Because the main idea why we are not permitted to eat on Erev Pesach is in order to make sure we have appetite at night. A poor man that never eats completely can eat as much as he wants, perhaps, and he will still have appetite Friday night. So this is two ways of learning. I read one. Look at Tosafot. ואפילו אני שבישראל. Tosafot right before the white lines, you see? ואפילו אני שבישראל. The Salka, Tosafot first read it the way I read it. that the Ani, the Dina Seba is written on the Ani. Why the Ani? The Salka Da'atach, I would have thought the Hasebat Ani, Lo Chashiva Haseba. Even when the poor man is leaning, it's not a real leaning. Why? The ain't no Almala Haseb, the ain't Derech Chirut. The whole idea of leaning is a statement. Yes? Since the poor man doesn't have, I would think that the poor man is exempt from the obligation of leaning. The Mishnah says, even Ani, this is the way I read it. Now look further at Tosafot. ויש מפרשים that you read the Mishnah different. That the Halael Kai, this Afilu Ani Israel is not being read with the mitzvah of Haseba. It goes on the case previously. Now the Achet Tershach, no one is permitted to eat or make kiddush until it gets dark. Afilu Ani Israel. Pirush. Afilu Ani Shelo Achal Kama Yamim. The man is hungry. You invited him. Lo yochal ad shetechshach. So this is basically what you asked. Is the second gisa. Yeh ma sheyeh, but velo yifchatu lo, the third part of the Mishnah. It's a communal obligation. Communal obligation to make sure that the poor and the needy have what to eat. It's definitely going on the poor man. And the question is, who is it going to? And him or?
I have a question, and it more to do with the style of the writing the Mishnah. Since the Mishnah was always very careful on the use of words, could it have meant implied it's per person? In other words, when they say Adam, it's everybody at the table. Each one has to have this shiur. And
Okay,
all the
so,
stuff.
so
Since they like a shorthand, it's
okay,
understood.
okay.
Everybody gets one set.
Rani is saying that.
But I don't know the style of the writing.
I know, but remember here, you don't have to add another word. Instead of writing lo, you can write lahem. Write two words. Lo implies
individual
a single individual. Yes.
I don't even know if you need anything with the ani. What does it even need? Afilo ani shmistir lo yichal to say. Afilo ani bisir lo yiftachu lo me'arba kosel. Why do you need the lo yochal to say? But you say lo yochal to tekshach. I'm still not grabbing it. I'm sorry.
Because he's a different mindset.
Again, if okay, in order to understand, okay. Open this in Sefer Zmanim, Halakhot Chametz U'Matzah Perek Shvi'i. Make sure in the book that you have, the brown one has 3 books go in the end. The one you have running is the second book. Make sure it says on top Zmanim. Open the Rambam in Sefer Zmanim, Halakhot Chametz U'Matzah Perek Zayin. Sefer Zmanim, Halakhot Chametz U'Matzah Perek Zayin.
Let's get that and see.
Remember, it should say on top Halakhot Zmanim, Perek Zayin.
Shin Lamechet.
Look at Halacha Vav. This Rambam really gives us a general outlook on the night of Pesach, but we're not starting from the beginning. I'm only answering your question, Rani. Now, because anyway, we have to come to the habit. The whole door, listen carefully what the Rambam says now. Chayav Adam le'arot et atzmo. Most of the Agadot say, by the Ashkenazic Agadot, it says lirot et atzmo. The Rambam's version is le'arot. You, me, and you are obligated the night of Pesach to show, not lirot me on myself. I have to act externally. להראות את עצמו, כאילו הוא בעצמו יצא עתה משעבוד מצרים. As if I שנאמר, the Rambam brings פסוק, ואותנו הוציא משם. מה זה ואותנו? הם, they, not we, ואותנו הוציא משם. ועל דבר זה ציווה הקדוש ברוך הוא בתורה, וזכרת כי עבד היית, כלומר, כאילו אתה בעצמך היית עבד ויצאת לחירות ונפדית. Again, the Rambam brings two psukim to show us that we have to demonstrate externally and to remember that we were there. Now listen to the next halakha, and this is the point. Leficha, remember, leficha means therefore. Therefore, you remember what I told you a second ago?
Yeah.
You have to show, לפיכך, כשסועד אדם בלילה הזה, when you eat the meal, צריך לאכול ולשתות, והוא מייסב דרך חירות. According to the Rambam, eating while we are leaning is a fulfillment of a mitzvah min Torah to demonstrate physically time ben chorin. Meisev is leaning. So according to the Rambam, you'll see in a minute that according to the Rambam, even if you eat your chicken or your meat or your fish, you have to be leaning also if you can. V'chol echad ve'echad, he continues, חייב לשתות בלילה הזה 4 כוסות של יין. Now you see clearly how the Rambam disagrees with the Tosfot and he says כל אחד ואחד, everyone. Why? Because drinking the 4 cups, according to the Rambam, is an external example how I'm celebrating something very special tonight. Right. אין פוחתים מהם.
But is it answering the question? Is it answering the Gemara?
Which
Gemara? The Gemara is telling us you give it to him.
Individual.
Yeah, look at the next one.
Yes.
אין פוחתים הם, ואפילו אני המתפרנס מן הצדקה, לא יפחתו לו מ4 כוסות. Now he copies the Mishnah. שיעור כל כוס מהם רביעי. David, this is clear in the Rambam, unlike Tosfot, that every family member must have the 4 cups of wine, not only the Balabait, right? Because according to the Rambam, by drinking 4 and by leaning, I have a mitzvah min Torah.
But why don't you say then, but you're using a singular, you have ani hamid parnes. If you're saying the whole family was drinking it, why don't you say afilu an mishpachat ani or aniyim hamid parnasim etztecha lo yifatchu lahem le'abakol. So
David said it, but if you see the Rambam began on individuals, לפיכך שסועד אדם בלילה הזה, so he began on the person, then he says family. He assumed. Remember, he began by Adam,
and then what does he do?
בין נשים חייב לשתות 4 כוסות ואין פוחתים, ואפילו אני assumes that you understand.
Individuals. Yeah.
But the point I'm bringing is to see the Rambam that leaning is the way we fulfill the mitzvah of wine, drinking the 4 cups. So according to the Rambam, it's clear that everyone has to have it, because this is the idea behind it. But somehow Tosafot are not sure. Again, if Tosafot are comparing it to Kiddush, the real question is, by Kiddush, the mitzvah is to sanctify Shabbat, and because you made the beracha, you have to drink, correct?
But the one who's reciting it, not necessarily the guest.
In a minute, yes. In a minute.
Like a Brit Milah, you have Kiddush, you have a wine.
In a minute, so Rani says every time you make you see the big difference is, let's say, by wedding, yes?
Yeah.
The groom and the bride, they take a sip.
Yeah.
As by Brit Milah, you take 2 sips. By Pidyon Ben, here, we'll see in a minute. But you have at the table, go to Mishnah Berurah here, go to Mishnah, you take this. Chelek Gimel, make sure it says on it Gimel. I don't have enough, you give it to me one, I'll look with Rani.
I'll look at you.
Someone is at the front door.
Look a second in the Mishnah Berurah.
Eric Gimel, Rabbi Pratt?
No, this is Shulchan Aruch, Siman
Ah.
Reish and Gimel. 273, 273. I'm reading Seif Dalet first, that's to give you the background when you look here. Remember, I'm going back now to Tosfot, when Tosfot are comparing Kiddush, Pesach
Shabbat.
night to Shabbat.
Which halacha?
Halakha Dalet first. This is what we do. יכול אדם לקדש לאחרים, אף על פי שאינו אוכל עמהם. דלדידוה במקום סעודה, right? I can make Kiddush for a family even though I'm not part of the meal. I'm within the family, fine. Now, look at סעיף ה'. כתבו הגאונים, עד אין קידוש אלא במקום סעודה, לריש העניין, אבל אפילו אכל דבר מועט, או שתה כוס יין, according to the גאונים, as long as you ate some מזונות, או שתה כוס יין שחייב עליה ברכה, which means you drank רביעית, יצא ידי קידוש במקום סעודה, אוקיי? וגומר סעודתו, you can finish the meal in a different place as long as you had in mind. ודווקא אכל לחם או שתה יין, אבל אכל פירות, לא. Good. Now, let's go now to Reish Ayin Aleph. Remember, this is Reish Ayin Gimel 273. Go to 271. A few pages before. You can see if you Gimel. Reish Ayin Aleph, see if Gimel. צריך לשתות מכוס של קידוש, כי מלוא נוגמר, which means what? Chick-fil, which is by us, let's say if your cup is 3.5 ounces, you drink about 2 ounces, right? Who has to drink for it? Tell the page. Yahainu, first he tells us what is מלוא נוגמר, כל שיסלקנו לצד אחד בפיו, if you move the wine to one cheek, ויראה ולא נוגמר, והוא רובו של רביעית. So again, if רביעית is approximately 3-4 ounces, most of it fine. This is Friday night. says שולחן ערוך, אם לא טעם המקדש, וטעם אחד מהמסובים כמלוא נוגמר, let's say if a fellow that made the Kiddush, his old grandfather cannot really drink, but one of the people who are around the table Friday night drank 2 ounces, yatsa.
Does the one who make Kiddush have to have a sip at least?
It's better, but
Yeah.
the main idea.
Chacham Baruch used to like take like a dot and put it in his tongue, and somebody else would drink.
This is what
Is
right.
that
This
the
is
A
what
dot.
right. Yeah. Because he had diabetes, you cannot. Okay. Now go to the next line. והגאונים סוברים, you see the last time by you in the book is והגאונים סוברים, שאם לא טעם המקדש לא יצא, וראוי לחוש לדבריהם. The opinion of the גאונים is the one that makes the Kiddush must drink.
The taste.
And if he did not, no one was
Drink a
saying
little or the quantity?
the quality.
Quantity.
We read a second ago that
Sounds like a taste.
Yes.
like we read before that we can assign
To
someone
feed the bulk of it,
to
to drink the
take
bulk
the
of it.
bulk. The Geonim are saying
No.
the Kadesh has to
He has
drink
to
the
drink.
bulk of it. Yeah? אבל בשאר דברים הטעונים כוס, הכוס ברכת המזון, by wedding, by ברית מילה, all this, מודים הגאונים בסגי וטעים עד אחר. They agree that in every other Jewish celebration where wine is needed, the one that makes the bracha does not have to drink.
But Kedusha,
Friday night, you must. Says the Netziv of Aloshit, the Tosafot that we began today by saying that perhaps Pesach night is the same as Friday night, says the Netziv. Tosafot are following
disregard, because it has to
this
be.
opinion. Again, the question was, how can Tosafot compare Pesach night to Friday night? Friday night, the idea is the Kiddush. The Geonim are saying it's not the Kiddush, it's the Kiddush and
You have
drinking.
to be doing it.
This is what Tosafot's opinion
Similar to
is.
a concept of Pesach.
Friday night. We're not following it, but you'll see in a minute that we do follow in a minute in a way. How much wine, David? How much wine do you drink Pesach night? Whatever you do is fine. Just tell me what you do.
3.4, 3.5.
The cup has. I'm asking you when you say it, you finish the Kiddush.
No, but some cases.
Do you
should
finish
do
the
both.
cup? You finish the cup or not?
But I think the first one we have to dig the full
Whatever
cup.
you did, whatever you do to 120 is fine. I'm asking you what you do.
What do?
I drink the whole cup.
Okay.
No, that's another story.
David says depends on the quality of the wine. Depends if it's wine or grape juice. Let's see what the Shulchan Aruch says.
So you're going to say, what happens if you drink only a little bit and you have the whole time? Can you stop, say a little bit of the Haggadah?
Let's see.
Yeah, what's the term? Rove course. Rove course.
But with what amount of time?
Take the Mishnah Berurah here. Take Mishnah Berurah Chelek Hey.
Also, like, we have to have the matzah in a certain amount of minutes. You have to have it at a certain time, so maybe wine
This
is
is the
similar.
matzah. Let's see by Kiddush.
They have the same.
Let's see by each one of the 4 cups. Then you'll see is it like Friday night or not.
Let's stick. Let's see my brother.
Just a minute. Let's look at Siman Kaf Ayin Bet.
Extra books.
He's used to.
Okay.
Okay, let's see what the yeah, give me a book.
Yeah, he said.
Kaf Ayin Bet.
Which one?
Kaf Ayin Bet.
Kaf Ayin Bet.
472.
Samech Ayin Bet.
English story.
Which halakha, Rabbi?
Just a second. In the first half of the Siman is the Nea Seba. Go to Sif Chet. Sif Chet.
Sarich.
Says the Shulchan Aruch, צריך לשתות 4 כוסות על הסדר. Which means the first cup is Kiddush, the second cup is by the end of Magid, the third cup is by Kos Birkat Hamazon, and the fourth cup is when we finish the second half of Halel, okay? ואם שטען זה החזה שלו, אז שלא כסדר לא יצא. We'll spend time on it not today. Tet, שיעור הכוס, the amount of wine should be in the cup. Revit, whatever your rabbi told you is fine as long as you have more or less. לאחר שנמזגן. In the time of the Gemara, the wine was very strong, so they suggested you have to dilute it. He says, "Ve'im rotzeh was done." And the poskim say today's wines are not so strong. You have to look fine. Ve'ishteh, Rabotai. So whatever you said before, you are right. But let's read what Maran is saying. Ve'ishteh kulo, as David said, he drinks the entire cup. Or rubo. It gives you the 2 opinions. What is the 2 opinions? Okay, let's look at the Mishnah Berurah, Seif Katan Lamed. Kulo or rubo, says the Mishnah Berurah, lekatechila kulo. If you can, you have it running here. Kulo or rubo, Lamed, it says Lamed, yeah, right there. Kulo or rubo, היינו kulo lekatechila. or rubo b'diavad.
Oh,
You hear this?
preferred.
If you drink most of it, it's b'diavad. It prefers to drink it all. Lama. See, here is the point. We just came from Kiddush. By Kiddush, no one says drink the entire cup. Because by Kiddush, the main idea of the Kiddush is sanctifying Shabbat and saying the Pesukim how important Shabbat is. Since we made it on a cup, we have to drink. How much should we drink? Oh, this is by Kiddush because the idea is not the drinking. We are drinking because we recited the Barakah, we have to drink, yes?
Right.
Unlike Pesach night, the mitzvah is to show that the night is a special night. This is why the Shulchan Aruch says, Lekatechila, finish your cup. Yes? If you cannot, go. Ubemedinot, Shayayim Beyoker, he says in Poland, it's very difficult to
So
have
let's ask the question differently. What happens if the first night of Pesach is Friday? Is it ever possible that Pesach could be on a Friday night?
many times. And the answer
Okay,
is,
so how do you deal? Then you have Kiddush, then you have Kiddush and
answer,
Pesach.
the answer is the first cup on Friday night is double, as a double meaning. It's a
That's
Kiddush
what I'm asking you.
and Kiddush of Pesach. Here, this is it. This
I'm
would-
sorry, I'm not getting what is this purpose of drinking every drop? Then you want me to take water maybe and rinse it and drink the residue of the wine. What is my purpose versus drinking Rov Kos? My purpose.
to show that tonight I became a free man from being a slave. I'm out of a concentration camp and a labor camp together. Don't rinse and don't drink the water, only the wine. Shulchan Aruch says, try to finish the cup. Why? Because tonight is not Friday night that I'm sanctifying Shabbat. I'm celebrating. Speak to anyone that ever suffered. You'll know what exactly why you drink the
And
cup.
drinking the full one, you're.
But yes, it's a game. Okay, we're playing this one.
No, I'm not making fun. I'm trying to understand.
Oh.
I'm trying to discern the difference. I'm not making fun.
No, but this is the point. The point is,
Right.
we
I'm
are
trying to understand so I can do it properly.
we are celebrating. And celebration and freedom means we drink wine. It's not a sip. A sip is for old people. A sip is to everyone to make an order, you can make a check. It says if you want to do it right.
In the moment.
So going back now, what is the difference, Mel, between Friday night and Pesach night? Friday night, the center is sanctifying Shabbat by saying Pesukim.
Which doesn't
We
necessarily
say
mean
the
drinking.
Pasuk,
With a little te'ima.
right? But the little Teima is what Mel is saying is Rov
Right,
Kol.
that's what I'm saying. Right.
But
So
Friday,
therefore, you might want to tell me on Pesach I should use the best wine.
remember,
about quality
the
wine,
Mishnah
it's about
Berurah is
quantity.
saying, Mel, remember, this is an empty stomach here. You drink 2 cups. So some people are very careful in the first 2 cups not to take strong wine, or because otherwise it might affect.
That's what I try to do. Use a lighter wine for the first 2.
So look what he says here like this. ובמדינות שהיין ביוקר, אפילו לכתחילה, if wine is expensive, אפילו לכתחילה סגי ברובו, taking most of it is fine. אך,
But Rabbi, for all the cups or certain cups to be get less than the whole?
second. אך כוס רביעית, the 4th one, by the end of the seder, you have to drink the entire cup. Why?
Remember,
כדי שיהיה יכול לברך ברכה אחרונה. If you remember, after the 4 cup, we say Baruch Ata Hashem, על הגפן ואחי הגפן. If you drank only most of it, you cannot really make the beracha.
So it's not because of the cup itself, it's because after that you have to qualify.
Right, but as we
All
say,
the cups are equal in
as we say every year, if we do it and you plan it in advance, as Mel said, try not to get very strong wine at the beginning.
Yeah.
Try to get something with 6 or 8% instead of taking 12. The wine should not be very dry because then it's affecting you quicker. But here is now let's put the Rambam and the Shulchan Aruch against Tosfot. The Rambam says that drinking the wine, the Ba'aseba is making a statement. We are free. This is why we drink more wine than we do regularly. Yes. According to the Rambam, it's clearly that if you drank without leaning, you blew it. We are going to, according to Shulchan Aruch, if you forget to lean Pesach night, you have to drink again. Why? Because the whole idea of drinking is to make a statement. I'm a free man who drinks, meaning, yes. Okay, so by Ashkenazim, but the Avad, they say, the women are relying on other opinions, and today, no one is leaning. So today you can't say that if we lean,
It seems.
this is like a statement of, but the way the halakha was established to begin with is Zman HaGemara. But Tosafot clearly are of the opinion only one man has to make Kiddush and he has to drink. They follow the Geonim. Every Friday night you have to drink also. You have to drink every Friday night also. So Rav Soloveitchik and Rav Moshe Soloveitchik, there was a time there was a famine in Russia, in Ukraine. So they told every household to make Kiddush on one Pesach night, one cup. Instead of everyone having a cup, was impossible because of the situation based on the Tosfot. Halakha l'maaseh, we saw in the Rambam that everyone should have a cup. But in difficult situations, yes, but of course, should never face it. No. Otherwise, you might say, what's the point of making it?
Yeah.
And saying that one cup is enough by each one of the kushot. So the one that makes the kiddush, the same as Friday night, is drinking it. And by doing that, is what see all the people. According to the Geonim, this is what we do every Friday night. Yes.
Rabbi Prague?
Yes.
Think about it. So you're making everything Pesach is to make it separate and distinct. So they make, is that similar to making two brachot on the matzah?
No. We'll come to it over there. Right.
No, I know that, but you're trying to show there's a difference. So could I be motzi you by eating the matzah on Friday? If it's a birchat mitzvah, if the matzah is a birchat mitzvah, could you be motzi me by eating? If it's not a birchat hanenin, could you be motzi me by eating matzah? Because I eat matzah on Pesach.
But by every time you have a mitzvah to eat, the same way I cannot appoint you to eat breakfast for me. I'm using it as an analogy.
I'm trying to say it's not about eating.
Not really. You cannot. No, you must eat.
You can't fulfill it.
The question should be, can he be motzimi with the bracha? The answer is, of course, yes. But the achila has to be an individual achila. This is the idea by Erev, tochlu matzot, everyone has to eat. We'll continue tomorrow.
Nice. So
Chelek Gimel, you can take the Gimel only.
So technically,
Hey, has to stay. The Rambam
the
should
shoe
stay.
each of the kosor is the same, except the fourth
Correct.
one, we have the
Correct,
shoe, we have the
correct,
whole one,
correct,
we're gonna look at it.
Correct.
Every one of them could be
Yes,
technically.
yes.
divorced, but
Rambam stays here.